10 News begins with breaking news.
Yeah, things are still a mess in the Midway district after the water hydrant break swallowed that traffic signal and flooded the busy road. Good evening. I'm Steve Atkinson.
And I'm Kimberly Hunt in for Lindsay Pena. This is breaking news that we first brought you live on 10 News at 4 o'clock. The break was reported on Midway Drive between Sports Arena Boulevard and Kemper Street. 10 News reporter Anthony Pura is joining us now with the breaking details. A mess out there, Anthony.
That's right, it is still a mess out here. Water crews are on scene, but you can see that the water is still running right now. They are working to get this turned off. They're about a block away from here. They're trying to find the valve to turn off this water here that is just spouting out of the sinkhole. It's already been swallowing up this street light here. We've watched it slowly start to sink deeper and deeper into that water hole there in the past 2 hours. This water has been running for about 2 hours now. It's really impacted businesses in this area. There's a Wendy's in this area as well as an Arby's, a used car lot that we've spoken with. They said that this is normally a very busy road, but you can see right now it is empty here because they have road closures in place because of this water main break, or this hydrant break rather. I also had a chance to speak to a witness earlier who was right there as they watched that light pole start to come down. Here's what they said.
It didn't make any sound at all. I noticed all of our trucks were parked right here where we're standing, and so I had to move all the trucks out of the way, and then the light pole just fell down. Yeah, kind of a slow fall.
And again, officials say no injuries at this point. No injuries reported from this water main break. Or this hydrant break. They are working to get the water shut off in this area, and we will keep you up to date. We will continue to follow the situation here. We're reporting live in Midway. Anthony Pura, 10 News.
Anthony, thank you. You can get updates on this story as it develops by downloading our app. Just search 10 News.
There are new developments tonight in the case against a woman accused of intentionally running over her neighbor in Choyas View, leaving him fighting for his life. This afternoon, Tantrina Spencer Simmons faced a judge. Our 10 News reporter Rena Nakano joins us on this story. And Rena, so what happened inside the courtroom?
Well, she stood silently inside the defendant's box as she heard her bail amount go up to $1 million. Attempted murder and fleeing the scene of a crime. 24-year-old Tantrina Spencer Simmons faces now 2 felonies after prosecutors say she ran over her neighbor, James Shank, after he tried to stop her from beating a child with a belt. We spoke to Shank's wife, Zena Salisbury, at their Choyas View home before the arraignment. She told me this whole thing started Wednesday when she witnessed her downstairs neighbor, Spencer, beating her 8-year-old sister with a belt. As a double amputee, she couldn't go downstairs to stop it, so she asked her husband to make sure the girl was safe. That's when she says Simmons jumped into her SUV with her sister, hit him with the car, then mowed him down before driving away.
The victim was dragged 60 feet underneath the car and has extensive injuries. He's in critical condition now.
Shank's family says he now has a broken nose, shattered pelvis, punctured lung, and possibly an arm amputation. He is still sedated, undergoing 2 other surgeries this week. Prosecutors say the whole incident was caught by MTS trolley station cameras.
You can literally see as the victim is basically cast out from behind the car lurches over and drives off. She doesn't hesitate, doesn't stop, and literally takes off.
Friday afternoon, the judge determined Spencer poses an extreme danger to the community and set bail at $1 million. Prosecutors say it was a senseless act of violence committed against a selfless Good Samaritan.
And he stepped in and, was going to do something and do the right thing. And unfortunately, it cost him, and it cost him and his family severely.
Now, prosecutors told me that Spencer Simmons turned herself in a couple hours after this incident. I also spoke to Shank's wife earlier today, and I asked her about her husband's condition. She told me simply, he needs me and I need him. He just needs to make it. Information about their GoFundMe page is on our website, 10news.com. Reporting live tonight in downtown, I'm Rena Nakano, 10 News.
We're all pulling for him. Rena, thank you. Police are searching for a gunman after a shooting in a Mount Hope neighborhood this afternoon. Hospital staff called police after a man showed up with gunshot wounds. This was around 2 p.m. Police say the shooting happened on C Street near 41st. They described the gunman as a white male, about 30 years old, wearing a green jersey. They do believe that he fled the scene in a green pickup truck. And if you have any information, you're asked to call police.
There is new information about a carbon monoxide scare that sent 2 people to the hospital. It happened inside a strip mall in Otay Mesa. 10 News reporter John Horn is live at that strip mall. John, this happened after a power outage went long.
This whole area was without power from about 6:30 in the morning to noon. In the meantime, the cash exchange business you see right there turned on a gas-powered generator, and that was a mistake that could have turned fatal.
But I saw all the problems that were causing.
Ramirez Sepulveda's day was already interrupted by the time he got to the strip mall on Otay Center Drive Friday.
I work on the produce, and there's big warehouse where we store produce actually, and when the power goes out, I mean, that's millions there we can lose.
A power outage around 6:30 Friday morning after SDG&E equipment failed. More than 1,000 customers in the South Bay impacted. But then there was the ABC money exchange in the strip mall. While the electricity was gone, workers fired up a gas-powered generator with no ventilation. Carbon monoxide filled the store, sending 2 to the hospital and hazmat crews responding.
We're actually doing it in reverse right now.
Fire Rescue Captain Chris Zove says the process to get rid of the poison gas was more complicated than usual. That's because crews couldn't find the key to open the back door to the money exchange and use cross ventilation to get the carbon monoxide out.
We normally take gas-powered blowers and blow air from the clean air from the outside into the business and exhaust it out the back end through an open door or a hatch, or you'll see us put holes in roofs.
Instead, they had to do it in reverse, with blowers pushing that bad air outside, taking much longer than normal to make this part of the strip mall safe again. Workers at the store declined to comment. Sove says the 2 that were taken to the hospital were in stable condition. He reminded the public that these gas-powered generators are just like car engines. There's only so much exposure a person can take before falling ill. Live in Otay Mesa, John Horn, 10 News.
Thank you, John. A wild chase led to a woman rolling over in her stolen car before being taken to the hospital this afternoon. According to the CHP, the woman in her 40s was swerving in all lanes of the 15 North near Mission when she caught officers' attention. After that, CHP says she was on and off the freeway and then blowing red lights on surface streets. Later, getting back onto the 15 South and hitting speeds near 100 miles an hour. She ended up losing control and rolling down a hill by the 78 westbound ramp. Her condition at this time is unknown.
Now to a developing story involving the man known as the bolder-than-most rapist. Today, a judge ruled that Alvin Quarles will stay in a state hospital until at least December. As our 10 News reporter Natay Holmes explains where Quarles will live when he's released, that remains a mystery.
The search is still ongoing to find a place for Alvin Quarles to stay. The judge gave the court a 90-day extension to do just that. Now, in the meantime, the deputy district attorney says that they are making sure that Quarles is not released into the public before he is ready.
That the evidence showed that the release of Mr. Quarles was premature and that he still poses a danger to the community.
It makes me shaky. It makes me shaky for myself personally, and it makes me shaky for the young people of our community who is his demographic and who I think really will be at risk.
There have been a lot of evidentiary hearings during this process that have not been open to the public, keeping key information confidential. While the victims feel that they should have a right to know what was said behind closed doors. The DA's office is hoping that that will also be reversed during the appeal process. Quarles was not present in court today. In the 90s, he sexually assaulted more than 10 women, often holding them at knife point, forcing their husbands or boyfriends to watch as he brutally attacked them. He was sentenced to 50 years behind bars, but was moved to Colina State Hospital years ago to get treatment through a program for sexually violent predators. He was originally set to be housed in Jacumba Hot Springs, but that idea was shut down. Another status hearing will be held on December 6th to see if they were successful in finding him a place to stay. In downtown, Natay Holmes, 10 News.
LA County firefighters made quick work of a brush fire in Malibu. The Sweetwater fire burned about 40 acres on the slopes of the Santa Monica Mountains. Air and ground crews, they stopped the forward progress just before 2 when they currently have the fire about 95% contained. LA County Fire says that crews will be mopping up throughout the night. The cause is under investigation.
Right now, Hurricane Dorian is a Category 3 storm as Floridians brace for the extremely dangerous storm to hit. Well, Dorian is forecast to make landfall along Florida's east coast on Tuesday as a Category 4 storm.
As ABC's Megan Tavrezian shows us, a state of emergency has been issued.
We've seen a measurable change in preparation efforts in the last 24 hours as the storm continues to gain strength. The entire state of Florida in a holding pattern, watching closely to see where and when Hurricane Dorian will hit.
If you're in an area that has flooded in past storms like Irma, you're almost assuredly to experience flooding. Understand that that could happen. Understand that you're likely to lose power and act accordingly.
Florida's governor today working with FEMA to solve the state's fuel shortage. Half the gas stations in Miami empty.
Nobody won't get hurt. Just a little bit more patience, a little tolerance.
Amtrak suspending select service into Florida. Airlines offering traveler waivers for those wanting to change flights, while some Floridians frantically trying to get back.
I was here for meetings and I'm going back home to be ready. And now that I see that we'll hit on a Category 4, so yes, I'm getting worried. I'm very worried.
At NASA's Kennedy Space Center, crews taking precautions to protect ground support equipment, moving the mobile launcher indoors. If Dorian lives up to the current forecast, the biggest threat could be flooding.
But we want everyone to know if they live in a storm surge zone so that if we do issue that order, you can move immediately.
Even those inland at risk. Orlando's mayor joining coastal cities in declaring a state of emergency.
It could be the most significant storm we've had in a couple of decades here in Orlando.
President Trump just approved the emergency declaration for Florida. Thousands of soldiers and airmen from Florida's National Guard have been deployed. Thousands more are on standby. Megan Tavrezian, ABC News, Daytona Beach, Florida.
And we are watching this storm very closely right now. Hurricane Dorian, a Category 3, but it's only getting stronger from here, and it's only getting bigger as well. So right now, wind speeds at 125 miles per hour. Those have been picking up just since this morning. Right now, moving towards the west-northwest at 10 miles per hour. This is a slow-moving system, which is bad news because that means that the rainfall will cause an even greater threat to flooding. So it will continue tracking to the west, gaining strength into a Category 4 storm by Sunday morning at 11 a.m., pushing into the northwest portions of the Bahamas and then straight into the east coast of Florida, right north of Jupiter as a Category 4 storm on Monday. Monday and Tuesday will be the biggest days for the storm before it starts to weekend in. We're tracking warm temperatures here at home as well. I've got your Labor Day forecast coming up next.
Thank you, Jennifer. Emmy and Golden Globe winning actress Valerie Harper has died today at 80 years old. Harper was best known for her role on the Mary Tyler Moore Show as Rhoda. She later starred in a spin-off called Rhoda. According to Variety, Harper was diagnosed with lung cancer in 2009 and a rare brain cancer in 2013. Harper is survived by her husband and daughter. What a beloved actress.
First diagnosed in 2013, but just fought that for so long.
She did.
Yeah.
And really brought a lot of light to the subject as well and helped a lot of people.
Absolutely.